same breath, lawmakers are also debating a proposal, the death penalty for kidnappers, a move that has sparked fierce arguments on both sides of the aisle. Well, joining us this morning is a security, of course, expert and one who has spent a long time, decades, ensuring that security is indeed what it should be, especially here in Nigeria and also from the international scene. We have former Assistant Director of the DSS, Mr. Dennis Abakri, joining us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. I'm going to start off first by saying, are you as excited by the percentage of Nigerians who are happy to have General Musa as the new Minister of Defense?
Well, I was very elated because I was watching it right from the beginning to the end. I was very elated. This is what we call Senate screening. Senate screening. And, some of them, especially when it comes to, what's his name? Senator Sani. Senator Sani Musa, yes. Who said that the guy should bow and go. That's the old school. And they don't realize the importance of Senate screening. I'm happy that the Senate president have to come out and say, no, we have to screen this man. We have a problem. We cannot just come and ask them to bow and go and we continue in the same old problem. Let him come and tell us exactly what he wants to do about the problem. And I'm so happy because they gave him some very good key performance indicators, and if he follows those KPIs, which he himself, I think, is very much aware when he was CDS, I think we're getting somewhere.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Makri. Now, oftentimes we hear commentary that the hood does not make the monk, that the fact that you have a former military personnel in the helms of affairs does not mean things would change drastically. Can you paint a picture of the operational chain of command and where his influence would most likely lie? And this experience, this field experience he has, how would it work to our advantage? Because you have the Chief of Defense Staff, you have service chiefs, you also have a Minister of State for Defense, and people are wondering if you won't have overlapping functions. Is that position actually really necessary? Because who will be reporting to who, and what is Mr. Bello Matawale going to be doing, really?
Thank you very much for that. First of all, I think you said the who does not paint the monk, and of course, but you see, this particular one we have is somebody who has gone through from the field all the way down to, from operations to policy. Now it's into the policy making. Remember, we've always been complaining about politicization of security, and this politicization is because the people who are taking the political decision, people at the policy level, are not given enough strategic and tactical direction to the people on the field. Now we have somebody who is there, who has gone through the ranks. He has been in the war front. He has been commander of Hadenkai, and right now he's the policy maker now. And that policymaker, that position is the chief advisor, the chief advisor on national defense to the president. So I think this is one of the best, should I say, appointments that I think the president has made. And I think he will continue showing us his acumen. Many people are happy that he was appointed. You can see from the Senate, some people were, that's why some said they should just allow him to bow and go. But they said, no, let's face this problem. And I am happy they did it. And for the Minister of State, I think the president will do us a lot of good, to either redeploy him somewhere and then, of course, bring somebody to give full support to the present minister.
Okay. Redeploy him somewhere and, possibly asking for full support. But, I mean, just 48 hours or thereabouts, a video had emerged of the Minister of State for Defense, former governor there, talking about that he was saying all bandits are not bad people.
Yeah, trying, almost making excuses for them.
Making excuses for them while he was governor of Zamfara and so on. With this kind of mindset, do you think it will benefit the new Minister of Defense, looking at the fact that it seems they're not on the same trajectory
because he was
approaching the security?
He was against issues. Negotiations.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying that I think the president will do the country a lot of good if you either ask him to go home or redeploy him. You listen to that video. I don't think that is the kind of mentality of the person we want to become, to be managing our national defense. I think this is why we are asking people to explain themselves so that we know whether you fit that position or not. Look at the kind of excuses he was given. And then, of course, when he was governor, I've seen him on TV frolicking with some of these terrorists. And, he has been denying, but the internet does not lie. And then, of course, they've dug this out. There are more videos about him that if you look very well, you will see. So I think the president, if he wants General Musa to succeed, then there is need for this particular appointee to, step aside.
Now, Mr. Makri, you did commend the Senate yesterday, saying this is how screening should be done. And we absolutely agree with you, because it gives you an insight into the mind and the capacity of these appointees. And maybe the reason why we didn't used to get this standard is because you send a list to the Senate without portfolios. So questioning on capacity might be different. And because General Musa had the opportunity to speak, he was grilled for 3 hours yesterday, we could have insight into his solutions and thinking. And one of such is that he emphasized that the military component is only 20 to 25% of the security solution. He called for a whole of government approach, and he also emphasized a good governance. We spoke to Mahdi Shehu yesterday. He's a good governance advocate, and he did mention that, look, some of these northern governors have no idea what they're doing, and we spoke to him on the backdrop of the Northern Governors meeting and their communique of, pulling resources together, they're dealing with some of these issues. But he's of the opinion that they're only paying lip service to this. So what can the government do when the other components, I mean, the defense minister can only do his own part. When you don't have the buy-in of some of the state governors, some of these state governors are even working. It's counterproductive, their work. They're negotiating with some of these bandits. They don't believe in, dealing with the issues at source, and also the issue of good governance. In your view, what does that look like in practice, and can it deliver?
First of all, it is, you're very correct that the president, when he sends a list to the Senate, should also attach the portfolios. I don't know why the portfolios are not attached. Are you keeping it because you want to negotiate on it? When you've appointed some people and attached the portfolio because you got them nominated because of their expertise. So attach it and let the Senate go through that list, and then of course come up with a robust Senate screening. About the governors, I'm so happy because you find out that General Musa understands this situation properly. He's been there and he knows exactly what they are doing. The people have shirked their responsibility. And I'm happy that he mentioned it, that we should start thinking about strengthening the police. We've been talking about state police, and I'm happy he saw it. Because what the police is supposed to do is what we are using the military for. And we have state police, they will go ahead well-trained, because it is the difference there is the training, and of course, we've always mentioned it here that a soldier is trained to kill. He cannot deal with civilians. The civilian-military relationship is very, very tacky. But the policeman is trained to protect and serve. And that is what we want. So train the police, train them in the tactics of, dealing with terrorism, dealing with banditry, kidnapping. All these are police jobs, and they can do it. Over here in the United States, that's what they are doing. They don't bring military people to come and pursue kidnappers or, even terrorists. I've always mentioned it. We have to train our police very well. We need to have a special squad, that is trained in special weapons and tactics. Because if, for instance, in Abuja International Airport now, you have a terrorist, taking over a plane there, you're going to bring the army, or maybe you bring the Air Force to bomb the plane. It's a police tactics, and they can do it. So I think let's do it, and of course, let the generals, let the governors wake up, and let them not say they want to donate 1 billion naira a month. Yeah. They can do it.
Yeah.
The security vote has been collected all the time, and they're not doing anything about it. So at least there's something for them to be doing now.
The reactions have shown that it took a world power to speak up in the presence of the United States, talking about Donald Trump, before we're starting to see a lot of movements.
According to Akpabio, it's on their neck.
Yeah, just like the game of chess. Everyone is moving now because we are starting to see activity. I have so many questions to ask Mr. Makri, but I think I'll take them one by one. Let me focus on the newly appointed Minister of Defense first, before we delve into other aspects. Hopefully we'll have time. His success is very critical, especially we've seen his thought process. We've seen that he has a lot inside of him to put out. And that's why many have said he's actually a square peg put in a square hole. He's the person that fits that role. However, his success will be determined by the actions he rolls out and the support he gets from the government. But there's a certain fear somewhere that the benefactors of this upheaval, this current situation Nigeria is faced with, are even within the government. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, during his time, had said that he even has Boko Haram in his government. He did mention that, which was also put out in the papers then. But how do you think General Musa will pave the way to success, knowing that he has to deal with these moles or persons who are even within the same military, even government and so on? Is it going to be an easy one for him?
Yes, thank you so much for that question. And that's why I was saying that the qualification of somebody who is occupying that position. It's a very, very strategic position, and I think he should be working very, very closely with the National Security Advisor. He knows him already. They've been working together before, and the person should be able to even, have some kind of community alignment, align the military to the communities and stuff like that. The person has to be some kind of public relations person. It's not just a military and stuff like that. I'm happy that he said it, that what we need to solve this problem is all society approach. And if we are going to use all society approach, you have to do a lot of alignment in the society with different kinds of people, for them to come forth to do it. Now, as a policymaker, I know that there's a lot of politics being played, and of course, the president, really, I really congratulate him for this particular appointment. He has chosen him very well, and as a military man, it will be difficult to cow him. And then, of course, he should be able to speak up. He has been retired before, so he will not be scared that, if I say this, they are going to retire me. No, he will talk to the president. I hope that he has already discussed this with the president, that please, you will take my advice if you want me to come back. So this kind of speaking truth to power. And then finance. He must have a financial backing. And he said it. I'm happy the Senate is also saying it, that, look, the Committee of Finance Committee, Appropriation Committee, all of you, please, we have to support this man to succeed. Because the problem is not just easy, to just appoint somebody, but the finance should come in. I tell you, the money that they are giving them sometimes don't trickle down to the people that are going to use it.
Doesn't that suggest
I'm happy that the Senate is ready to do this, and we wish him all the luck.
I mean, doesn't that suggest that there should also be an upward review, an uptick of the soldiers' remuneration, salaries, and so on? Also, the process in which arms deal are done. Shouldn't the Minister of Defense be fully involved and take charge of that as well?
He has even said it. I think he said it, that the remuneration of the soldiers, and indeed all security agencies, should be, reviewed upwards. Because you see, we play with security. Security is very expensive. And of course, he mentioned it. He mentioned what the cost of one drone alone, one drone. And if you shoot it and it misses, you've lost about 150 million or something like that. So, financing defense or security is very, very important, especially when it comes to a situation like this. If we want to get through it, then we have to finance it. Otherwise, you'll find out that some people are still making money out of it. Some people are making, even in the terrorist group, there are people financing them, buying them guns, buying them fuel, buying them food. They eat. Imagine the kind of food they are eating. Think of 200 terrorists who are coming into a school to kidnap 200 girls. They will all eat. Think of the motorcycles they brought. They must be fueled. So they finance themselves appropriately. We should also finance our military and security forces to do it. I always make these inferences, and people should note that it's so, so important. Although we cannot compare apples and oranges, but we are comparing security of lives and property. I made a quick analysis here. Our defense budget is 3.10 trillion naira. You know, and if you change that one into dollars, you're going to get about 2.14 billion dollars. 2.14 billion dollars. Now, that's our annual budget for 2025. The annual budget of the New York Police Department alone, not the state of New York, Police Department is $5.83 billion. More than double our defense budget. So what are we talking about? You know, we have money which is being frittered away. People are stealing it, pocketing it, doing all kinds of things. These are the monies that we are going to be using. Some people tell, oh, we don't have money. Oh, the country cannot afford that. The country can afford that. In fact, the country realizes that by even giving the highest budget to defense. But are we giving them the right thing? Is it properly done? Do they get the money for their procurement and management issues? Or you give them a percentage? One senator even mentioned it. What they are giving them is about 20%. Where does the 80% go? So we have to realign if we are serious. And I think since the ginger that we got from the United States and, of course, the flurry of activities going on, let's go ahead and do this once and for all, because we cannot continue living in it. Everybody have realized that we are losing.
Now, finally, Mr. Makri, before we let you go, there's an African saying that says you can't go to sleep if your neighbor's house is on fire. General Musa, at the Senate screening yesterday, did mention the need for good neighborliness and for us to cooperate with the countries bordering the shores of Nigeria. You look at Niger and Chad in the Sahel region, and also the Republic of Benin. How important is it to have this type of neighborliness? In the past, we used to have what you call the G5 Sahel, and in the wake of the coup in Niger, everything, and Burkina Faso, and of course Mali, everything fell apart.
Yes. So he also mentioned it, which is very, very good. You know, I think he has the idea of what's going on. And I'm happy too that he has dropped that idea of fencing Nigeria. He is the same person who said it. And when he said it, I came out to challenge that idea because it's an old idea. Too expensive. How can you fence Nigeria? And when you fence it, how are you sure they're not going to break that fence and still come inside? So I think he has jettisoned that idea. But technology is where we're going to go. And he understands that. Technology. And then terrorism is such a threat, a security threat, that you cannot solve it alone. That's why we're even now cooperating with the United States. You know, many people will not know, but the cooperation have started already. You know, we are cooperating with them on how to take care of this border situation, counter-terrorism and all, okay? Now, our neighbors, I think there was some kind of strain when the AES states break out, you know, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. But I'm happy because some of the military meetings that has gone on, they have always been present. Their representatives come, and I think we should, you know, talk with them. Politically, they can decide to do what they want to do, but security, we have to cooperate with them because the same problem they are having. Forget about now we are having all these bandits who came in from Mali, Burkina Faso into Nigeria and occupying our ungoverned spaces. That's where they come from. And the base is still there. So we have to cooperate with them, agree with what is going on, and then, of course, see how we can strategize and deal with it. And that will include Cameroon, Chad, Niger Republic, and the Benin Republic, and of course, by extension, the West Africa sub-region.
Thank you so much for
you so
your
much.
time and insights, Mr. Dennis Macri, as always. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.